How about the fact that they're trying to defend themselves and the public that they swore an oath to? He said that, he went on saying that the vast majority of police officers are honest, hardworking, and have a very difficult job. But like any other public official, if a police officer breaks a law, that officer must be held accountable. He said that he is in favor of demilitarizing local police departments and changing the racial makeup of individual squads so they mirror the communities they're tasked with protecting. He said that we've got to change all over this country law enforcement culture so that we all understand using lethal force, killing somebody, is the last response, not the first response. You know, they act like that the cops are just rolling up and randomly shooting people in the face. You know, and think about, every major officer involved shooting over the last 2 years. By and large, they were after a chase. They were after a physical conflict. It's not like the officer just again rolled down their window and did a drive-by on some people. Shameful, just absolutely shameful, and it's a slap in the face to the men and women of law enforcement, who are out there putting their lives on the line. And to be demonized like that, it's absolutely ridiculous. And to talk down to them, all the while, these campaigns hire local police officers and state troopers and stuff like that to secure their events and to keep an eye on things. How do you think, those officers standing there, how do you think they feel when they hear these candidates talk like that? It's just disgusting to me. Absolutely freaking disgusting. And, it's so ridiculous to me that these things continue to come to a head, I guess. I don't understand it. And I don't understand how Democrats out there feel that these are the people who represent them. You know what I mean? It just doesn't it doesn't sit very well to me. Check out the next article here. One of the excuse me. One of the big things that have been used against Donald Trump is his work with veterans groups, and Trump came under fire with all these folks saying that the $5.6 million he raised for veterans groups never got handed out, and blah blah blah. They're using this to bash the guy. So he came out and gave a speech and released a list of 41 groups that identified donations of $5.6 million to veterans groups and organizations. And one thing I liked in that speech, because Trump has been accused of standing on the back of veterans and saying, oh, look at here, I'm doing for these guys, and a lot of folks say it's only because of political expediency. But he actually said in that speech, he said, I wanted to keep this, private. But because everybody is attacking me and pushing this out there, that we're just gonna talk about it. So they put the list out there, and he dared reporters at the time to find out how much Hillary Clinton has given to veterans groups. And according to recent public records at the Clinton Family Foundation, from 2009 on, they donated the following sums each year: $25,000, $20,000, $5,000, $15,000, and then in 2014 they donated $5,000. So we're looking at $70,000 that they've given to veterans groups, and this is on top of the millions upon millions that they funnel through their private charity, and they still refuse to actually release who they've given to and who those donations go to. But again, folks, it just shows you the commitment and it shows you the I guess the process that these folks go through. And if you're going to call somebody out, like they do against Donald Trump, maybe you should have all the facts before you end up with a little bit of egg on your face. So again, I don't like seeing this veterans groups be politicized or anything like that, but it is continually happening, and it is a big deal. It's a big deal for me, at least. But if anybody out there truly believes that Hillary Clinton is capable of being a good president, man, I tell you, I've got some land I'd love to sell you, because you're completely lost. I'm sorry. We just had some breaking news here, an update on the UCLA shooting. Let me get it pasted into the chat thread so you guys can see it. Apparently, police have announced that it was a murder-suicide on the campus, and that authorities are no longer searching to see if there are any additional suspects in the area. LAPD Police Chief Charlie Beck said Wednesday, "It appears entirely contained. We believe there are no suspects outstanding and no continuing threat to the UCLA campus." Beck said that the shooting occurred in a small office. Both men were found dead at the scene. The identities of the men were not released, nor was any potential relationship. It was unclear if either or both were students or professors. A gun was recovered at the scene, and as was a piece of evidence that, quote, could be a suicide note. And that's, again, according to LAPD Police Chief Charlie Beck. So it looks like a murder-suicide situation at the UCLA campus. Crazy, crazy stuff, absolutely crazy stuff. Let me see here. What else do we want to talk about? We've only got about 20 minutes or so left on today's show. Let's go ahead and dive into some of these random stories out there that caught my attention today. Blew my mind on several levels, and we'll sort of go from there. Let me see. Let me get this posted up into the chat thread for you.